Well, it's another episode of the Chasing Guitar Gear podcast.
Think carefully now, Bri. Chasing the title. Through
Chasing
Brian's
the title.
brain.
Good luck. I have to use Chat GPT to find the title.
You use it too much, Bri. I'm telling you now, you need to quit that shit.
No, I actually, so I use it for idea generation because that will allow me to think of something else.
Well, will it allow you to think
Ideas
of
are not the
else?
problem.
Well, yes and no. So, I mean, like, there's basic structure that just makes my life like, for example, a good example is a YouTube description. Nobody really reads that. That's more for like search engine stuff. So I'll generate the ideas that I want, that it's basically about. And then I have it write a description, and then I try to take out all the, in conclusion, the regurgitation that Chat GPT does. I did, however, pay for the upgrade yesterday.
Did you? That doesn't
So I have
surprise
upgrade.
me. You got the
I have
$20
the
a
Turbo
month.
Chat GPT.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love it. Love it.
Tomorrow, I'll be out of a job, I suppose. It'll be Chat GPT, make me a thumbnail. Chat GPT, write me a silly description for my podcast. Chat GPT, write Richard's resignation letter for him.
Hey, that's a good idea. I could actually just take the transcript, run it through Chat GPT, and say generate. I could do the same thing with YouTube. Man,
You
Generate
could.
podcast.
I just made your job easier. You don't have to do anything else.
You know I get paid by
Like,
the
you
hour,
still
right?
get
No. I get paid by the hour.
not
I
a-
want to do hours.
not
I
on the
want to do minutes.
podcast.
No, that's true. I get paid by the negative hour on the podcast. It's an interesting point, though, because I read an article this week about who will own the copyright to AI-generated artworks, specifically songs.
Yeah.
So you're using it, with abandon, and it is
Reckless abandonment.
That's the
Reckless.
word. That's definitely the word I was looking for. And yeah, I'm not a fan, Bri. I'm not a fan. But who owns all of your copyrights?
How come? So let me back up just a little bit. Why aren't you a fan?
Because it all reads the same to me. It's almost.
It
as
all
if-
sounds.
it needs voices. It's almost as if everything that Chat GPT outputs is Blake rapping, because it almost all starts with "My name is Blake, and I'm here to say."
Mm-hmm.
But you can give it prompts and say, write this in the style of Josh Scott.
Yeah, but I might not want
Does
to
it know who
like,
Josh Scott is?
Well, I mean, it may not know who Josh Scott is, but it knows other,
Mr. Joshy.
known people.
Mr.
She could say, write it in the style of Seth Godin or Tony Robbins or something. Like you literally you can do that it does that pretty well.
Right in the style of Bill Shakespeare.
I've had it try to write in my style and it does not do that very well. Not enough goats.
I mean, do you have a style? Is there a Wampler style of writing? NPN transistor.
Here lately, I guess it sounds like Chat GPT.
Well, yes, but again, who owns the copyrights to everything that you've used it to generate?
Well, I mean, everyone's trying to figure that out, right? Because it's taking data from other places that it's accumulated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of mixing it up in a bowl and spitting it back out in ways. So that's especially, I think it's more a problem in music, I would say. Music and artsy stuff. I don't think so much for give me a good exercise routine for a 50-year-old man. That's pretty cut and dry.
Some exercise.
I don't know about that, but
Really?
I don't think it's that cut and dry. I see a lot of people try to do that, and I'm like, what 50-year-old man? Are all 50-year-old men the same?
Well, no, but I mean, you have to give it specifics.
A 50-year-old man with bad knees and shaky back.
Yeah. Weak knees, a person that can't lift very much weight with their legs, smaller frame, maybe circulation problems. You actually can input all that stuff.
And does it know? Does it actually know? I don't know.
See, that's the thing.
And then who's responsible when Chat GPT suggests a routine for somebody and they get injured?
Hurt? Yeah.
Who's responsible? Is it the company that owns Chat GPT?
Well, I think that's right in line with trying to figure out. Yeah, that's trying to figure out all the intellectual property stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because absolutely, people were saying, I have these symptoms. Do I have COVID or the flu or whatever?
Sure.
Am I having a heart attack? Am I having a stroke right now?
Probably wouldn't be able to type that in if you were. I'm just going to say.
It'd be pretty difficult. Yes.
Reminds me of the time I was slightly worried. I was going to say I was slightly worried about my heart, so I rang up my doctor. I was like, so when I'm running on the running machine, it's telling me that my beat, and he's like, when you're doing what? It's like, yeah, when I'm running on the running machine, it's telling me my heart rate is between this and this. Is like, you don't need to worry if you're running on a running machine and are able to call me. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably a giveaway.
Yeah, but as far as the copyright goes, I think it does get kind of sticky, especially if you're like, write me a song in the style of Prince. Well, now you're like using that data that it has access to as a reference. So is that technically, belong to the estate of Prince then? Or does they get a portion of the royalties, as if it were sampled or what? I mean, that's where I imagine it shaking out. If you like directly say like pull from this handful of influences, it should probably get, divvied up as if it were a sample. If you're directly quoting a handful of artists, to have the AI bot write stuff, anything that's generated from that but that's really, really hard to do. Like really hard.
Hard to prove in court, really.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon that an AI lawyer, though, would be better than a human lawyer because it would have access to all legal libraries instantly. It would just win everything
at some point,
it's single line.
At some point, it's just two AI chatbots like arguing your case against each other.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you joke, but we're getting there. There's going to be a time.
I'm joking, but that's heading that way. Yes.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is if that does happen, and I think it might, especially in like smaller cases, it generally is still like, at least in the American judicial system, decided by humans at the end. So you got two robots arguing for and against, one person. And then these robots have to convince humans that their argument is right, which is really weird to think about. Like really, really weird.
What you're really saying is
especially without vocal inflection.
The ultimate form of American justice is going to be a pair of rock'em sock'em robots. That's basically it, right? There's a reference for the kids.
Oh, God. No, I think it might look more like RoboCop, actually, which is a little bit weird.
Well, that would please me.
Maybe, that's kind of an Elon Muskian future, right? Like we have to become part RoboCop so we don't get annihilated.
So you don't get shot in very tender places like in RoboCop.
Well, I don't mean necessarily shot, but I mean, you guys know, there's a lot of fear around what could happen.
I think we should
some of it's valid.
Yeah, I think we should just burn all 5G masks immediately now anyway. If you have a 5G mask in your city, go and burn it immediately. And with tires or something. I don't know how you do that shit, but do it.
Get rid of 5G mask? Is that what you said?
Mast. M-A-S-T.
Oh.
Mast. Antenna.
Tower, for those who are in America. Okay. Yeah.
I may have accidentally said mask once. I
was like, they make masks that are Wi-Fi connected? This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's just like so when you're robbing a convenience store, you have a good connection,
Exactly. You gotta have your earbuds in,
Mm-hmm. Well, you're getting hyped, right? You put on your favorite hype music and you go in and you hold up the cashier and get $11 and then out.
I mean, imagine if you have a mask that is smart in some way and that displays someone else's face, a fake face on you.
I think those are available now.
Brian Wampler robs convenience store in Portland. What?
Wait, I wasn't even in Portland. Not according to this AI-generated plane ticket we have.
That's right.
I mean, the prospects for criminals must be huge. There must be a huge amount of identity theft related shenanigans that you could get onto. Not that I'm suggesting, but yeah, I reckon that's the future of crime. You're right. It is sounding like law enforcement and RoboCop. Wow.
Mm-hmm. We're going to need RoboCop to sort all this out. That or Judge Dredd. Maybe Judge Dredd's what we need.
Judge Dredd is definitely what we need. Judge Dredd is, well, he is the law. He is definitely
the law.
No.
I am the law.
Mm-hmm. I'm only ever a few seconds away from Judge Dredd memorabilia. In fact, I'm looking up at my Funko Pop of RoboCop standing next to Judge Dredd. Do you know who Judge Dredd is, Bri?
I think I have seen that movie.
Okay.
The Stallone version.
Is there two versions? I've seen the Stallone version.
There's the good version and
versions?
the Stallone version. The Stallone version is terrible.
The Stallone version's fun, but it's not anything like the...
Yeah. The Stallone version is fun in the same way that the Phantom Menace is fun. There's a lot that goes on screen, and it's Star Wars, but actually, if you stop and think about it for a minute, it's completely shit. We're on... Yeah, I shouldn't swear, should I?
You keep forgetting you're not on Patreon.
Big E there. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, we're about half an hour in. Should we talk about guitars?
Well, no,
we still haven't decided who owns the IP for music.
Not you. I think
Richard
that's what
does.
I do.
Richard owns all of it.
Didn't we decide that RoboCop's got it? Basically, OCP will own all music. I mean, surely the play here is for one of the big labels, like, I don't know, Universal, to just buy Chat GPT, and then it owns all of the songwriting that ever comes out of it.
There's no way that they could afford it.
They don't have enough money to do that.
No.
It's the music industry where you put in $2 million and out comes $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, after fees.
Yeah. It's like that old joke, Bri. How do you become a millionaire from making pedals? Invest 10 million into your pedal business.
Right.
Really.
You'll have 5 left over.
Mm-hmm.
It is a weird future that we've got coming up, boys.
I do wonder what it's going to look like, man. As far as like, there's always going to be people that like analog pedals, right? Well, and I think we talked about this a week or two ago. Like, at what point, with everything that happens with digital, people are making profiling easier and easier and easier. At what point does the digital side of things, I would say more like the budget-based pedals, when is that just so sterile and AI'd, for lack of a better word? When is it just so AI'd that it kind of loses its monetary value? You know what I mean?
That's a good question, because like in the past, I think that was the problem with a lot of digital stuff, right? It just kind of sounded weird and all the same. And now we have wonderful things like the metaverse and neural plugins. And
no, you can just stop
all
at the
these other
metaverse.
things.
Don't say anything else. You were fine.
Oh, okay. I won't say Terraform then.
Lots of good stuff now.
They've done a great job at replicating analog sounds in the digital realm, which wasn't really that doable, 10 years ago. So it's kind of funny. Not as good anyway. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're using digital technology to replicate quote unquote analog flaws, which was funny. And I'm finding that in video editing too. I've got all these film grains that I overlay over things all the time to make it look like it was shot on a Super 8, even though it was shot on a 4K camera.
You should just bypass all that and get an old VHS camera.
I'm looking for one right now. I'm looking for the same one I used to use when I was a child. I'm trying to find it. It was an old Quasar, full VHS tape.
It's like 3 feet long.
It's huge. I would take it around town and shoot movies with it with my friends. And
80 pounds on your shoulder. You're like, heck yeah, man, we're gonna watch some awesome movies later.
And then it would just be like teenagers rolling, shopping carts into ditches and things like that.
Which was not what I was rolling as a teenager. Just gonna let you know.
Oh, jeez. I had a lot of rolling videos, but they were skateboarding videos. I wish I had those back. Like as a teen, I had VHS tapes of me like riding half pipes and stuff. And I don't have any of that stuff.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I had that.
You need to dig that out.
I do have a tape from my movie making days here in my filing cabinet, but I don't have a VCR player to watch it on. So
I've got a VCR player. So if you send it over here, send me the tape. I've got a VCR player. I'll play it on my computer, record it with my iPhone, and beam it back to you. How about that?
A good idea. I like
high tech.
I shouldn't at all figure out how to hook a VCR up to my computer and just digitize it myself. That'd be a bad idea.
That would be a good idea.
Anyway.
Yes.
So AI, VCR. What's next? MTV?
Vinyl.
Oh, you guys saw that I didn't link it in the notes actually, but that graph I sent you.
I was going to say, where's that in the notes? But it was fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about it is
Where'd that go?
The music industry today is basically worth what it was at its peak, which I think is around about $13 billion US dollars. Other denominations are available, but
why don't you explain, Richard, what this thing is? Explain what this is. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
It was a moving graph of sales over time of each format of music. So, it starts off with your vinyls and then adds your cassettes and your 8-tracks. Or actually, the 8-tracks came first. And then the CD boom happened. And suddenly, I think 1993, $11 billion worth of CDs were sold versus hardly anything else. Brian has very kindly put a link to it, so he may be able to describe it better. But then now, of course, streaming has taken over. And actually, streaming has completely filled the hole that was last occupied by CD, even though cassette and vinyl are on the increase. That's basically it, isn't it, Blake?
I thought it was interesting, though, that despite, the general sentiment that, there's no more money in the music industry, when streaming came along, the actual revenues, according to this chart anyway, grew quite a bit. Like the overall revenue. It wasn't overnight. I don't think it's really a question.
Does this take into account inflation, though? It doesn't say anything about that.
I don't think so. I think it's just total revenue.
Well, hell yeah, music today, we're making a hell lot more than we were in 1940. You think? You think so, huh? Okay.
Yeah. But what's interesting is I think that, I don't know this for a fact, but if you were to crunch these numbers, I do think it outpaces inflation. The interesting thing is, okay, total revenue's up in music sales across the board. Artists aren't seeing that.
No.
So,
so it's money that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is just revenue to a record company or something.
That's what I'm saying. So the streaming services, the record labels and everything have always been the ones that profit the most, of course. But it's interesting that in this day and age where artists have so much more control than they used to, that's still the case, is that the bigger companies are getting the lion's share of the revenue, which has never been higher, which is kind of a fascinating statistic that I took away from.
I would like to see some statistics on like video game and, what's the word? I still have brain fog. Music that you put out that people licensed.
Yeah, placements and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that considered streaming as well? I mean,
I don't think so. I think this is just consumer-based spending.
This is just end
spending / listening.
This is not taking into consideration music libraries and stock music and all of that sort of stuff, because that would be a totally different market.
We need to make sure we put these links in the description of both the video and the podcast stuff.
Yeah. Link schmink, Bri. They can Google them themselves. In fact, they can use Chat GPT.
You don't need no links.
Just get Chat GPT to do it for you. They can do everything. We don't have this in the list either, but that's because I forgot to put it in. But that does lead to a different conversation where a lot of people I was seeing were outraged that Rihanna did not get paid for her Super Bowl performance directly from the NFL. And I thought, you guys are behind the times. Nobody's gotten paid directly from the NFL for their Super Bowl performance as far as I'm aware. Maybe they did at one point, but they get paid from the mechanicals on the back end from exactly what you were talking about. So they did a live performance on TV with their own material and their own self, like you can see them.
Mm-hmm.
All of that goes into the calculation for how much they get paid. And trust me, Rihanna did just fine.
Yeah.
Tell me,
Yeah.
what
Well,
is this?
she's already a billionaire.
What is this superb owl you're talking about? I'm interested in this fella. What's that all about?
Superb.
I'm a big fan of all ornithological creatures. So,
Oh, right. I love all birds.
tell me about your superb owl. I don't get it. What is it about?
My superb vowel? What?
Sure.
Superb
Tell me about
owl?
that too. You were telling me before the show about it. So, hey, spill the beans. Literally. No,
Yeah,
don't.
lots of
That would be
fiber, it
hideous.
I'll tell you this about the Super Bowl. I wasn't aware that it was happening until that morning.
You sound like me.
I had absolutely no idea.
I told my wife, I was like, I was just thinking the other day, like, wasn't there a Super Bowl sometime this year? When is it supposed to be happening?
So it's interesting.
Yeah, I was like,
Yes, it's tomorrow.
There's a big difference between UK football and American football, and not just we use feet and you use hands, and we dive and you use armor and all of that good stuff. But over
Ours
here,
is more like WWF style.
yeah, sure, why not?
I wish I'd watch it if that's what
there's a story and
more
there's
like
drama
pantomime.
involved. And,
We have the same, but it's a bit different. But what is different is over there, the Super Bowl is like the big thing. Like you rate teams on how many Super Bowls they've won, whereas over here, the league is the big thing. We rate teams on how many leagues they've won. So it's a completely different setup. Like no one even goes, I don't know, let me think of a Super Bowl team now. The Portland Biscuits. No one's like, the Portland Biscuits have won their last 15 leagues in a row, but it'll be like, definitely the Indiana Rooters. They've won, 18 Super Bowls. That would be a thing. So
it's Indiana Tobacco Spitters. Indiana Tobacco Spitters. See.
Wait, what do you mean league? What is when I think of a league, I think of like a group of teams,
organization of some sort.
A season, a season is a league. So over here, the Premier League is the table of football at the very top of the footballing tree, and we play 38 games in a season, and whoever gets the most points is the winner of the league, and that's the most important thing over there.
So whoever wins the most games,
whoever wins the most games.
Right?
Is the best football team over here. Whereas over there, it's like, we don't care about that. There's just this one game. If you win this one game, you're the bestest. We do have cups over
but you
here.
have to get to that game. You have to be good enough to get to that.
But we have that as well.
Beat everybody else.
We have the FA Cup, and, you have to first get through a round of 32 and then a round of 16 and then eventually...
So you have a Super Bowl.
I mean, that's the same. It's the
same thing.
FA Cup, but it's not as big over here as the league. This is what I'm saying over here. Like winning the FA Cup, which my team Arsenal happens to be the world record holder of, is not as big as winning the league, which we're not the world record holder
Well, it
of.
sounds like you guys need to learn how to capitalize on that more.
That's what it sounds like.
We've squeezed every profit we can.
Squeeze it out. Yep. We're going to wring the most money we can out of these college athletes, too, while we're at it.
Would you like to buy some NFL shoestrings for $45? Yeah.
Yeah, we're not as good as you.
Speaking of shoes and soccer, real quick, I have to ask you a question, Richard. This is very important. I am a fan of the Adidas Samba, which is, of course, an indoor soccer shoe.
Yes.
Currently, Adidas has a Manchester United colorway of the Samba. I don't care about Manchester United, but the colorway looks awesome. Would I be a poser if I bought them? Yes or no?
Not in America. I mean, let's face it, there's probably more Manchester United fans in America than there are in Manchester, because it's not a locally supported team. It is a team supported entirely by people who don't know what they're talking about. So it would be fine for you to have it. But also, I mean, Manchester United colours, red, black and white, are pretty universal. If there was an Arsenal one, which was red, white, and probably blue, I would say get that one over it. But there won't be.
That's called Murica color. Excuse me. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Trying to take our colors. These colors don't run.
You know what? That always reminds me of a poem that I wrote once. I'll just from memory. I'll shout it out real quick. It's basically it goes like this. Come on, shake your body, baby, do the samba. I know you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try it. Do the samba beat. And scene.
I muted
I was
half of that
talking
whilst
about,
I was coughing, so it was fine.
I was talking about these kind of sambas.
Yeah, they're nice.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought
Nice
we were talking about
trainers.
the Gloria Estefan song. Okay. All
The
right.
what now? Has he had
Gloria
a stroke
Estefan
while I was away? What's happened now?
Well, the Indiana way to say it is Gloria Estefan.
Okay.
Gloria, got that Gloria Estefan song on the
And
radio
the Miami
right
Sound Machine.
Gloria Stefano.
So, before we get into
You
guitar,
turn on
I mean,
that Gloria Stefan song. Come on, brother.
we're already over
Turn it on.
halfway through the show, and we've not mentioned guitar.
I think Hulk
once.
Hogan is actually probably from Indiana because that sounds a lot like what we would say here.
Come on, brother.
Add a little bit more chewing tobacco and goats in there, and you're
Let me
right,
see if I
right in the
can
bucket.
Come on, brother. Come on. Is that more Indiana Hulk Hogan?
That's like Big Bob down the road. That's kind of what he sounds like. Yeah.
Hey, bud. How you doing? Yeah,
Why do you call him Big
Ain't
Bob?
gonna be no corn growing up in here. This or that.
That's pretty close. Yeah. That's
Okay. So yeah, as I said, we're over halfway through the episode, and we still haven't spoken about guitars or guitar related. People
we talked
will
about music
complain.
though.
We have talked about music. So I'm just going to talk about something.
They really get under my skin. I don't need to talk about those people any longer. Okay.
That's probably now my favorite.
All right. If you want to talk
impersonation.
about a Les Paul, we can talk about a Les Paul. What do you want to know about it? Okay.
Well, I'm going to talk about something very briefly that isn't guitar related. Well, it kind of is. Are you familiar, Bri, with the band 10cc? Blank
No.
Look. So you don't know the song "I'm Not in Love" by 10cc? Okay.
I'm not.
When I ask you a question and you pretend that you're thinking, but I can see your hands aren't in front of your mouth, I know you're typing. I know what's going on. You must know I'm not in love.
I know what you're. That's the one with Eric Stewart and Graham Goldman. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was released like in 1975, I think. In May.
Yes. Yeah.
Second single from the band's third album, if I remember right, the original soundtrack.
Wow.
Um,
The originals.
I can't believe you must
if I
know the
recall
song.
right.
You must know the song. Come on, Bri.
I don't know.
You've got to listen to it now. Whilst
Does it have a lot of great guitar tone in it?
No, but it does have some amazing tones.
Nope,
in it.
never heard it. Nope, never heard it.
Oh, we didn't even write down Roger Waters' Dark Side of the Moon in the notes. That's another subject. But anyway, I'm not in love.
That was.
It's the saga that keeps on going on. Are you listening
He's
to
done
I'm
a
Not
great
in Love?
job at touching on all of this, all of our things that we wrote down here. We've talked about two of them.
I didn't know that the Roger Waters thing happened in this week. This seems like
did.
a month ago.
I know. But anyway, back to 10cc.
I got this
and I'm
song
Not
on.
in Love.
Let's see what
Right.
it is.
Listen to it.
No.
You've never heard that?
Nope. Sucks. That's the worst song I've ever heard.
Okay, it's not. I can tell you that.
It is
for a
because
fact.
there's no guitar. There is no guitar.
No, but what there is
Sucky
there's a
song.
beautiful vocal keyboard sound in the background, like a choral sound. Can you hear it?
Yes. It was
And let me-
very pretty sounding. But
Let me
I
tell
don't
you
like
how they made that, Bri, and you will be
Don't like it.
stunned. Okay? So it's 1975. How do you think they made that? They hadn't got
it.
samplers then.
Keyboards.
No. What they did is they recorded about 256 vocal tracks of them all singing different notes. And then they used faders, like 8 per person, and played them like a keyboard to make that amazing layered sound. That blew my mind when I heard
That's
that.
brilliant.
I mean,
that is brilliant.
Some
The
real
problem-
innovation.
The problem with that, though, Richard, and if I can just really be blunt, it sucks because there's no guitar.
I was just listening to it, and I'm gonna be the tiebreaker here. Doesn't suck.
It definitely doesn't.
I'd never heard it before, but I heard it now, and it
All right.
doesn't suck.
We'll
Doesn't
see you
suck.
guys. We'll see you guys later then.
All right. Now I'm going to tell you the only 10cc fact I know other than that. Do you know where they got their name from? Let me give you a hint.
10
Same
cc's
place
of
that
something.
Loving Spoonful probably got their name from.
Oh.
Peanut butter commercials.
No.
Oh.
Apparently, it is the average amount of male
heroin?
ejaculates. No, it is the average amount of male ejaculates. I said it in medical terms.
Oh,
No. You didn't need to say it
we
at all.
don't need to know this.
I didn't want to know that. My life
Well-
would have been better without that.
I don't think it would,
Jeez.
actually. I think...
No, it would have.
No, not cheese. I mean, if
No, I
it
can
is
guarantee
cheese,
you.
you've got a problem and you should see a doctor.
Oh,
So,
man.
moving straight on to another brick in
Spray
the
him
wall.
again, just for good measure. Just hose him down real quick. Yeah. Just keep it going. Yep. Hey, wait, that might be a good beat.
Yeah, let's get into that.
We just need like 45. One episode just needs to be Richard saying something and then just constant spraying for the next
Just-
45 minutes. I'm kidding, Richard. I'm joking.
So,
He
anyhow,
wants to flip me off. He does really bad.
Roger Waters has announced this week, and actually, Brian,
yes.
your response to it was the absolute best I've had. And I've spoken to a lot of people, including his current touring guitarist, but I was like, oh, Roger, he's announced that he's going to release Dark Side of the Moon, but his version without any guitars in it, and with him making spoken
That's
word.
like, it's like having a jar of peanut butter without peanuts.
What, butter?
It kind of sucks.
I kind of like butter. Butter's
Well,
good.
butter is good, but it ain't no peanut butter.
I mean-
no peanut butter.
I would definitely listen to this, but what is the problem with? He's gone a bit insane now, I think.
He's taken away the best parts that even make it slightly listenable, and that would be David Gilmour.
I mean, make it incredibly.
Taking David Gilmour out of the Pink Floyd is like taking Paisley off of the Brad Paisley guitar.
Kind of.
You're trying.
Your analogy was
You know what it is?
Pushing on that one.
It takes Pink Floyd, and it just becomes Floyd.
It's like
Yeah.
taking
No
one wants
Eddie
to
Van
listen to
Halen
Floyd.
out of Van Halen. You're just left with
Yeah,
Screaming Dave and Alex.
Which is cool.
He's
But
left with I'm
nothing
Just
wrong.
a Gigolo by David Lee Roth.
Right. But it's
I'm just a gigolo wherever I go.
you look a bit
I
like
mean,
David Lee Roth, actually. If you had the hair.
I do mostly the hairline.
Oh, speaking of which,
I thought it was the high kicks.
how was your visit over to see Brent? Did you polish his shoes good?
Oh, so I was at Brent Mason's house this weekend, actually.
Brian, you dropped something there. I think it was the name.
Let me grab that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was at Brent Mason's house, just hanging out.
From the video,
And,
it looked like you were buffing his shoes, dude. It looked like
So when I had brought several breadboards with me, because rather than take like everything I have and go design it in some studio somewhere, it was just much quicker for me to like design multiple circuits and run through each one. Like, okay, this is where we're starting from. What do you like about this? What do you hate about this? And then moving on to each different circuit. That way I can kind of narrow it down to where a new pedal will end up being.
And was it a successful mission?
Yeah.
Yes, we got one circuit nailed. The other circuit, we're going to go back to the drawing board a little bit.
Could I suggest a
somewhat
Boss
in the-
MT2 metal zone, perhaps?
Yes.
See, I wondered about that. I thought about using the metal zone for, circuit for Brent Mason. Then I thought, nope.
Come on. If anybody's going to make it work, it's going to be Brent. Come on.
Well, I mean,
Brent.
the truth is, he could pretty much make anything work. Like, it's just,
He is mad talented. He makes me
It's
want to give up
ridiculous.
playing. He really does.
He makes me want to go down yonder on the Chattahoochee is what he makes me want to do. I'll tell you what.
Is that rude? Should you
No,
spray
it's Alan
yourself?
Jackson
it's
song.
Alan
Come
Jackson
on.
song. Yeah. that he played
Alan
on.
Jackson? Who's
Popular. Yeah. Popular country singer.
Yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. No, nothing.
he? Nope.
Down by the river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight. No, nothing.
I mean, it sounds like a good time, but I'm not familiar with the song.
Oh
wait.
No. Oh,
Okay, so then you got to know the iconic "I'm in love with you, baby," and I don't even know your name.
That song is awesome.
No,
I listened to it the other
Richard.
day, and it's so good.
never heard it.
That has the most ripping country guitar solo from the past 30 years for sure.
And
If not
Richard, I genuinely think you would enjoy that song.
I probably would. I mean, I think I've probably heard him on. I think there's a couple of Brad Paisley numbers with him on it. Maybe.
If you've listened to any music from America in the past 20 or 30 years, you've heard Brent Mason. He doesn't play on just country. He plays on all.
Oh, we're talking about Brent Mason. I
All
thought we were talking
kinds.
about Alan Jackson. Now I'm
Yeah.
confused.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about Brent Mason.
I've definitely heard Brent Mason because I've
But
got a
yeah.
Brent Mason album.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You probably heard him
Really
on
difficult
that.
to
Yeah.
get hold of, by the way.
Yeah.
So I probably
You
have
probably heard him
heard
on
him.
that. Brent
Yeah,
Mason.
he might have played on that record.
You might be familiar with me from my own album that you own. Yeah. Funnily enough, I am. Yeah. But it was a good time, was it, Bri?
Yeah, it was good. Yep. Went out
Did you go out and eat?
to Longhorn afterwards.
Was
Yeah, went to
Longhorn?
Longhorn.
Is that a restaurant?
Mhm.
Do they
Yeah.
serve peanut butter and yogurt?
No, mostly steaks. That's one of Brent's favorite restaurants there in Gallatin. So that's
Is it?
where we go.
I had a big steak the other day, actually. It was one of the largest steaks I've ever eaten. It was so nice. Blake, you would have been proud of me.
I am. I'm proud of both of you right now for eating steaks. That makes me happy.
Well, to
Good.
be honest, I had a hamburger. So
How was it? Sometimes
Hamburger was-
steakhouses got good
that
burgers.
is fantastic. I love burgers. I actually like burgers more than steak. I know that's strange.
What?
I know.
You're
I am a
weird,
strange
Wamba.
person.
It's not
I
the weirdest
have
thing
weird-
I've ever heard. I love a good cheeseburger. Sometimes I'm in the mood. I want a cheeseburger. I get it.
Yeah, I've got some oddities about me. One of those is I prefer a cheeseburger over a steak.
That is
Cheeseburgers
weird.
are delicious.
I like a cheeseburger, but that's kind of junk food, whereas steak is real food.
No, it's just ground up. Just take steak, throw it in the grinder, put some cheese on it, good to go.
At a steakhouse, that literally is what they're doing most of the time. Is taking some of their sirloin, grinding it up, making a burger out of it.
Now, yeah, I'm not talking about like a McDonald's or Burger King type thing. I like, a good hamburger. Good hamburger. It's hard to beat.
Okay.
We always go back to food on this podcast.
We do.
Well, that's very important.
So
I've been eating good this week.
I'm
I don't
trying
even
to
go
get
through it
some
all. It's
guitar
been
topics
ridiculous.
out. Marshall have
Stop it.
leaked some new reissues of their pedals. The Blues Breaker pedal. Are you familiar with that one, Brian?
Yeah, well, so is this a rumor or is this, did this absolutely happen?
A dealer leaked it, and it
So it's
took some
definitely
very
happening.
nice photos of it and everything.
Because I am super duper excited. Excuse me for this one. Really excited. I loved those old Marshall pedals.
So
The
did you
Drive
have-
Master, same thing as a Governor, by the way. Same exact thing.
You mean the
Almost.
Shredmaster?
No, the Drive Master.
I don't remember what the Drive Master is.
Oh, I
There's
can
a
tell you about that.
governor with
That's
a
the
new name.
same thing as the governor.
Oh. Thanks.
I had a governor.
I wonder
once.
if did you guys have the same reaction I did though? Like I'm very excited about these. I am excited that they're seemingly putting them in the original style cases and everything. But I also said, Marshall, I thought you should have done that like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I've had that idea for a long time, and I know
My
I'm not
reaction
alone.
was, I wonder if someone's going to compare them to like a Chinese knockoff watch. Hot take there for members of the gear page. Brian, you must know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember.
I don't know what you're talking-
I forgot about that thread.
Yes,
so
well,
confused.
let's forget about it even more. But I'm kind of excited about these, kind of like, I didn't really dig them that much when I had them. I never had a Blues Breaker. I had the Governor, and I was like, it's all right. It's nothing special. Has Brian
there's
frozen?
a lot of pedals.
No, I
Reset the
was just
Wampler.
curious how wrong Chat GPT would get this particular
Oh.
question because it completely screws up like electronic questions. So I wanted to see what the difference that it said was the difference between Marshall Governor and Drive Master. And
it said,
is
Brian, for God's
absolutely
sake,
wrong.
log out now. We've had enough of your inane
absolutely
questions.
wrong. Absolutely wrong. You know what was funny though, when I asked it what makes the rat pedal different?
Different
You know?
than what?
Different than the guitar pedals.
Oh,
Did it say it's got glow-in-the-dark typography?
I think it was like talking about delay tones or
Did
something.
it say it was built like a tank? Military-grade circuit board. Okay, let's move on swiftly from the Chat
It's been updated.
curation.
Yes. It's been updated. Last time it was like, it's known for its delay tones. And I'm like, but it's not.
Yeah, that's because they've had 30
Anyways, just
messages from a Ryan Bompler telling them, you're wrong. Your Chat GPT is wrong.
it's
You joke, but every time I would reply this lengthy reply back, like, no, it is not that at all. It is this.
See, I think what's going to happen
These are the
is-
things I think of when Brian texts me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so busy. I didn't have time for that.
I think Brian is the person who's training it the most. I think Chat GPT, because it gets
in guitar
trained by
pedals,
its
yeah.
user base. I think it's going to just turn into Brian Wampler. One day
It's
we're going to ask it.
basically going to steal my copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, those are my words.
One day we're going to go to log into our computers to start our day, and Brian's face will just appear on the screen and say, "No, this is my computer now." And it'll be like some sort of possessed version of Brian Wampler. It's not going to be good. I don't see this
Frightening
being a thing.
dystopian future you paint there, Blake. Wow.
That's what's going to happen.
It'll
Blade
say,
Runner
to log in,
2099.
please indicate the milliamp current draw of a 1981 Proco rat.
I mean, that would be more secure than two-factor authentication, wouldn't it? 2 milliamp
Pretty much.
authentication. Yeah, I like it.
Please take into account component drift over time.
I apologise, listeners. I'm trying to get something sensible out of him, but it's just not working. I think the AI has taken over what was left of his brain.
You know, I have my good weeks and I have my bad weeks, you know. Sometimes I'm on my game, sometimes I'm not. I mean, you had the week a few weeks ago.
Sometimes
and I'm like,
you're
I've
on
had
the
18
game.
cups of coffee.
Yeah. Right, we got some big topics to talk about, and we've got like 6 seconds to do it. So, firstly, the other week I mentioned the mysterious album that got sent to me, and I said it was by a band called Sleepy Rojo. That's because I'm an idiot. It's Steepy Rojo, because everyone uses the word steepy all the time, don't they? Just going to say bad typeface choice there.
I was going to correct you, but I didn't want to make you look stupid.
No.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
More stupid, you mean? But I've got to give you a copy of the CD, Bri. Well, like not an illegal one, clearly a legal one. I'll send it over on VHS for you, Blake.
Is
really
there guitar on
interesting.
it?
There is guitar on.
Not like thousands of voices? Okay. As long as there's an actual
256.
guitar on it, we're good to go.
I can't believe you've never heard 10cc.
No. And
I'm not in love
for
with
that.
that,
Like, I'm proud of that. I'm proud I never wasted my time with that. There's no guitar on it.
Very, very wrong. There's a new Friedman website designed by those fine folks at Amplify Creative. I don't know whether you've seen that, Brian.
Oh, not those guys. Oh,
Those very guys.
I have. Is it live yet? Is this website live?
It is live at friedmanamplification.com. What a fine website it is. What was interesting is I had to do the SEO today, and that meant looking at every single one of his products. And I now have a very large shopping list. That's all I'm going to say. They make some good stuff, Bri.
See, I'm going to go through artists here.
No, don't go through the artists. I haven't finished that bit.
Oh,
He's got some
look
amazing
at this
artists.
fancy
oh man, look at all this text. Whew.
Dude.
When you have all these great users, it's you click on Dave Grohl and it's just like Dave Grohl.
Well, what else do you need to say? By the time this goes out, I hope to have convinced the powers that be that needs fixing. So I will have fixed it. So
That needs
the
fixing.
joke will
Yeah.
be on you. But yes, it does need fixing.
It looks great. It really does look great.
Thank you. Well, it looks a hell of a lot better than the previous website because that was broken.
I don't recall it that much, but
Because you couldn't
Was it
ever
like-
get it to work. Like the slider had literally 423 slides on it that were all broken and slid in different ways. If you watched it, you got like vertigo and nausea instantly. It was very strange.
Was it Joomla or was it WordPress?
Yes, it was Joomla. It was the same
Of
Joomla
course it
template that you're
was.
familiar with.
That
So-
ours had, yes.
Yeah. So now it's WordPress. Now it's faster.
Did someone say Doom?
No, not
Did somebody
Joomla.
say Doom? Sorry, I
Joomla.
woke up for a second.
That's what we should create a new CMS system, Doomla, for making guitar-based
should.
websites.
That's how
I
you can
like
actually
it.
make some money here. Yes.
The book is out. The Guide to Home Studio Recording by Warren Hewitt and Jerry Hammock, now available on Amazon. And as I speak, it's the #1 new release in home production music category. But hey, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Wait a minute. This is as possibly formatted and edited by one maybe
Amplify
Mr.
Creative again. Wow. They get everywhere.
Oh, those guys. Wow.
I mean, if you want a good
Incredible.
website for your guitar or amplifier, you go to Amplify. See how that works? Oh,
I
anyhow,
see.
they're my
That
plugs.
makes
Oh,
sense now.
I put some nickel strings on my Acoustasonic Jazzmaster. That was your suggestion. I broke one because as I was tuning the 3rd string, I was actually winding the 4th string and it snapped. But I then replaced the 25 with a 31, so it's a custom gauge. But hey, you were right. The nickel strings, you and Scott, I guess, because I think Scott also advised, they're kind of warm, but still bright, and I can do more with it. I've changed it to 10s on top, so it's like playing a regular electric guitar. Sounds more electric as a result. It's a really nice result.
Yeah.
So, and
Well,
funnily
glad
enough,
that's working out for you.
yeah, I mean, one of the websites I went to when I was looking at it was the Stringjoy website, because you have an article about what strings to put on an Acoustasonic guitar, and it's a good article. Did you write
One
it,
of the
Blake?
things that we do is when we get 4 billion of the same question in, we're like, wow, we've left the same answer a lot of times via email. We write a blog about it, and then we can just send people that link, and then also people like yourself find it and don't have to email us.
I'm still going to email you.
It's
Or you email them and you say, check out this link.
that's what we do. And now when it just saves a whole lot of typing because it's already been typed.
We need to do
Have you
more
thought
of
about
that.
putting a Chat GPT function on your website?
No. What? I'm going to make it my mission to hack Chat GPT just to bring it down, just so we can stop talking.
I'm going to make it my
It's
mission
only
to
people-
hack Brian's hands off at this rate, so he can't ever type again. 2 bloody stumps trying to type in questions. You're not allowed near
just
computers, Wampler.
He'll just be like, "Hey Siri, fill out this prompt on Chat GPT."
Good idea. Alexa!
Alexa, ask Chat GPT to make me a plugin that sounds exactly like a Vox AC.
I hope one of you's got an Alexa in your room right now and it's currently trying to do something.
I do not have such wizardry in my room.
Very
Negative.
scary. What's this weirdness around the IK Tonex pedal launch?
Oh, so we talked about it, right? And there was a I believe guitar.com article about the Tonex pedal. The Tonex plugin's been out for a while,
Yes.
but the Tonex pedal, like, didn't we were Brian and I were really into it. I remember, like, oh yeah, we got to get this thing and try it out because it has AI in it. Ooh, Brian's favorite thing. Yeah. But now when I go to search it, I can't find anything other than, like, this pedal's been leaked. But it was like, it seemingly was in, like, an official. We talked about it
I
on this
definitely
podcast. Or did I
saw
get
a
sucked
review.
into another dimension? Like, am I going crazy? Didn't we talk about this like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But so I don't know. All that to say is,
I think I still have a picture of it.
a friend of mine is an IK artist, and he's sending me one. Shout out Big KO. That guy's awesome. And I'm like, can I talk about it publicly after I get it? I don't know. If it seems like it's still kind of under wraps. So
I think we may have
I
accidentally
know people
leaked
have
something,
them.
chaps, because you're right. I can't find it now.
I found Tone
Oh,
Junkie
hold on. PMT
TV.
online. There we go. I found it for sale. Oh, 404. Yeah, it's been leaked to dealers, and IK have stomped all over them. I mean, now there's pictures of it all over the web. Tonex,
and Tone Junkie TV like did a report on it. That channel's big on like Kemper IRs and things like that. Actually, I think that's who Josh did his stuff with.
He did.
I remember? Yeah.
Yep.
They have a whole video on it, and so I remember like being really excited about it, and then KO was like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you this to check out." I'm like, "Sweet," and then I was like, "I want to find out more information on it," and then I went to Google it, and where did it go? So yeah, I don't know if I should even be talking about it right now, but it's already sort of been people heard about it, so I don't know. It was very, very weird experience. I thought I was going crazy for a little bit. I was like, hold on. Brian switched dimensions the other day. Have I switched dimensions now? What's going on? Like, what's happening? Anyway.
Yeah, I'm still on my crazy, weird, what do you call it? I forget the term. No, my body chemistry is still changed so much where I go to bed early, wake up early. Nope.
You go to bed early now?
Go to bed early, yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
Midnight, 11:30, midnight, sometimes 12:30 if the grandbaby's over. Depends.
That's kind of normal time, by the way. I mean, that's when most people go to bed.
My normal time was about 4:30.
Yeah. Your normal time, I'm talking about the rest of the planet. The rest of the planet does not stay up until the birds come out and go, oh, there's that funny whistling noise. Must be time to go to bed again. That's not how the rest of us work.
That's how I've lived my life for the past 40-some years. Well, not that much.
No, I find that very hard to believe that 8-year-old Brian was up at 4 a.m. Go away, Mum, I'm building a clon in my shuttle.
I know it hasn't been invented yet, but I'm building a clone anyway.
I'm trying to build overdrives, Mom.
Yeah. I gotta modify this tube screamer. I just gotta.
Bring me a sandwich.
I'm inventing internet arguments. Hold on.
Right. Hold on, Mom. Typing in Chat GPT. Stop it.
She just walks away. Something ain't right with that boy. That boy ain't right. I've lost the... Oh, speaking of shuttles, and we'll talk about this more on the Patreon. Definitely headline news over in the Merry Isle of England this week has been United States aircraft shoot down unidentified flying objects. Care to comment on that?
Yeah, we can't even begin to get into that right now. That's going to be a whole...
That's going to be a Patreon thing.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole conversation.
I think so. But they definitely were swamp gas balloons. Or were they?
I will say, everyone, once the White House was like, yeah, they're definitely not from aliens. Everyone was like, everyone's like, no, come. Yeah, right, Biden. Tell us what's going on.
And just to confirm it, I'd like to
introduce great when that's the first response.
Ripley to the stage. Sorry.
Right.
I made a bad move.
All right, let's give a shout out to our executive producers. The folks who love us more than everyone else. Really, now I think about it.
I think that's accurate. Yeah,
I love them too. So, Bill Bays, Jake Young from Men the Helm podcast, Justin Burke, David Tyndall, Night Haas, Dave Trumbetti, Shannon Weaver and the band Reduced to Rust. Eric Wilson, Rita Frostad, Michael Freer, Sean Arbo of Gun Street Wiring, Rick Calhoun of Honey Picks, DJ Patty F, Dylan Toxtone, Strand, Kevin Harrington, Barry from Grez Guitars, Felicity who makes the memes, Tom Kelly, Pigsy, John O'Neill, Robert Carr, Hunter Hudson, Rob Stokes, Jordan from Poison Noises, Nick Spano.
There you go,
Spano. The Twain Kings, Joshua Sir, and Jay Stratton. Thanks so much. And if you're Patreon members, which you should be, you get a whole nother podcast today. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, we're getting into it. We're getting into it
today. So see you over there.
Bye.
Bye.